Hi, Facebook Live. I am in the kitchen making a little chicken noodle soup. Actually, my husband helped me make the soup because I cut my finger really bad. I was slicing an onion and it just slipped. Yeah, rough times. And onion is the worst thing to have in a crack. But I can see people are watching, but I can't see. Oh, I should turn my volume up. I can see people are watching, but I can't really see who is watching. So, hello and welcome. I am going to talk about speaking the truth today because I think that a lot of us hold back and suppress ourselves, and we feel like we don't want to rock the boat, or we don't want to, cause waves, and so we tend to be, hey, William. We tend to be really passive. And the thing is, if we don't express... Okay, I've got to cook that for 7 minutes, so at least till 40. Okay, sorry, I'm cooking. If we don't express how we feel about something, or our thoughts, or if we want to raise, if we don't take the action and the risk to ask for that promotion, or to say, hey, I've been here X amount of years, standing up for ourselves, I think, sorry, my cat's playing with, hi Claire, my cat's playing with this bag and making a ton of noise.
Hi Jimmy. Oh, hello girl. Hello girl. Yeah, I'm making a video.
My cats always distract me in the best ways. But if I see, there's a balance between tolerance and sort of grace, and then also truth, and using your voice to defend the innocent, and sometimes that's you. And in relationships, if we never express our true selves, if we're never authentic, then we can only be loved. Hi from Michigan. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know you were up there. We can only be loved to the degree that we expose or reveal or open ourselves up to be loved. Does that make sense? If I only show you a little shell of me, that's great. You love the little muted 60% version of me, but I want love that's more full. I want more love that's more true in a way. In other words, now in my life, when people like me now, it's better, it's deeper, because I know that they didn't reject me because of certain differences in perspective, or, they've seen sort of, hi Susanna, they've seen sort of different things about me, and they didn't, hi Greg, they didn't judge me for that, they didn't cut me off as a friend. And in many, many, many cases in my life, now that I'm living more free and more full, and I'm not holding back aspects of who I am, I have the love-hate spectrum went up. So people feel strongly because I'm presenting to them a more intense, vivid picture. The colors I'm painting with now are more intense and more full of vitality and life force. And so now I have people that just adore me, that they find me to be an inspiration. They are encouraged by me. And then I have people that maybe think I'm real wacky. I mean, who knows? Who knows? But their responses to me and their reactions to me are not my responsibility. I'm only responsible to be me and to make my art and to live my life authentically. And I let the chips fall. But anyway, I just wanted to make this video to encourage a bit of empowerment in you to ask for what you need. Why are we so afraid to communicate what we want? To really, hey, I really want that, whatever. I think it's because we're afraid that the answer will be no. And our identities are so tied into, the idea that that's rejection, maybe of me personally, And so we hold back, we don't live our dreams, we don't take risks, we don't walk in faith, we don't really live the lives that we're longing for. We aren't happy in many ways because we're suppressing aspects of our life or, our goals, our dreams, our visions. We often don't bring those into reality. And it's important to communicate with people. You want people in your life that you can be honest with. Now, on that note, many of us have had bad experiences with conflict resolution. We've had bad experiences with people that are hurt, not knowing how to healthily and gently and calmly and lovingly and patiently express their feelings. And so what do, right? They usually let it build up and then they yell at you. They're angry. And so we have bad experiences. We have a lot of hurt with this. So one of the ways I'm misunderstood is when I actually communicate my feelings or stand up for myself. People kind of have these bad triggers and these associations, and they think like I'm being a jerk, and I'm not. I'm just trying to communicate with someone, my needs and how I feel and how they can best love me, and like all of these really positive, like relationship, team building, true, deep stuff. And so anyway, there's so many ways that you can be misunderstood and judged when you're living kind of in this countercultural, in my case, counter church, mainstream church philosophy thing. So speak your truth, be bold, ask for that raise, say, I don't really feel like going to the market today, but gosh, are you free Thursday? So you don't have to reject people, but you don't have to just like suffer. Yes, there's suffering that is unavoidable. So I'm not saying that life is free of suffering. I'm just saying there's times where we needlessly sort of suffer. There's times where we just take it and grin and bear it, where we don't have to, where if we're with loving people who care about us, we can say, hey, I'm really not feeling well, and not worry about like, oh, well, if I do this, then they're going to think this. Whoa. We got to get out of other people's heads. We got to stop pretending that we're mind readers, and we've got to be responsible for ourselves. We've got to trust our friends. We've got to give them the opportunity to accept us and to love us. And if they do feel like their feelings were hurt, it's then their responsibility to communicate their truth and to say, hey, so when you canceled on me Tuesday for the farmer's market, I feel insecure, but did that mean you don't want to hang out with me? Or whatever their thingy they need help with is. And then now we're communicating, right? Again. So we're getting even closer because we're getting closer to understanding. And then the other person can be like, oh no, like totally, I so want to go to the farmer's market. Like I love you, like you're my friend, I'm excited about it. But I was tired tonight, and that's all that was. So sometimes people need a little comfort, a little reassurance, but we don't need to get into these places where we're feeling bad about our choices. We don't need to get where we're over-explaining and we're like, you give yourself what you need, communicate, and allow other people, hi Jackie, allow other people to love you. Because if they don't know what you want or need, then they can't give it to you. And sometimes when we finally communicate what we want, we're communicating sort of a tapered down, edited version of our desire, because we're sort of calculating what we can get away with, or what they might actually approve of, or what they might not badly react to, or what they might say yes to, because we're so terrified of that no. And so then in many cases when we get what we want, or when we get what we've asked for, we're not totally fulfilled because we had censored that request and we hadn't expressed what we deeply want, like the fullness of that. So anyway, I just wanted to make what was going to be a short video. Apparently I'm not great at that, but Just speak your truth, to not worry about others' responses, as long as you're speaking it gently and lovingly. There's risk in it, but there's risk in any good, meaningful venture, isn't there? Isn't that a life of adventure and faith? Your voice is valid. Well, I don't know if I should ask, because, do you think I'm crazy? Is this too far? Is this nitpicky? Is that... Have a bit of strength in yourself and in your thoughts, and believe in yourself. You can bounce things off of a friend or whatever if you think you're going crazy, but don't come in assuming that you're crazy or that you're off. Have a bit of confidence and a little validation in your own voice that you belong here. Your perspective has value. Your perspective has value. Your perspective has value. You have a right to say what you have to say. Speak truth in love, keep being a light. I'd add, we should always try to outserve one another and not keep record of wrongs. Not easily offended, conflict communication. That's really great. Yeah, I like that. Yes, absolutely. So serve one another, love one another, speak confidently, absolutely. And then when we find understanding with our friends, we can almost lose the offense easier, because we're kind of, hi Ivy, we're kind of communicating like any sort of worry or misunderstanding. We can just be like, hey, and we can just ask a quick question, and then that helps in the process of sort of getting over it. We can sit and try to forgive someone, but in many cases we're forgiving them for something that they didn't even do. Like it was a misunderstanding in the first place. And so sometimes just that easy communication, when I want to get to the place, and I am in this place in many of my relationships, where sort of communication or conflict resolution isn't so amped up. It isn't so, I gotta talk to you. It's just normal. It's just like, hey, I have a question. Okay, cool. And we just we're not so freaked out about talking about things. And it's just this gentle, easy, loving way of life. And conflict resolution is an opportunity to get understanding, to get closer, to work as a team instead of you did this, blame. I can do a whole nother video about how to approach conflict resolution. There's wise ways that we can come into it. In other words, expressing our own feelings, like owning our own feelings, right? Saying, I'm feeling this. Can you help me with it? Instead of coming in sort of blaming the other person for your feelings. You've always heard the classic, you make me feel. How can they make you, don't. And then when you come in with the word you, people are already on the defensive. It's just not going to go over that whole love, gentle aspect. You want to communicate unity and teamwork. And the two of you are working together for a common goal, a goal of resolution, a goal of love, a goal of mutual understanding and growth in your relationship. There's so much good here, and this is an opportunity. So anyway, that's probably another video, but speaking your truth, yes, yes, yes. We love the honesty, but it must be tempered with respect. And my pastor just talked on this last Sunday. It was great. He said, with honor another individual. But see, we don't have to choose honoring ourselves or honoring another individual. I believe that those are compatible, that those actually flow and help one another. They feed into one another. So thank you, Susanna. I hope it's freeing for everyone. So as I'm sort of loving myself, the Bible verse says, do unto others as you would do unto yourself, or love others, I forgot exactly how it goes, but love others as you love or while you love yourself or something like that. In other words, both are important. And self-love is not selfish. It is love. Self-love is still love. And so it's beautiful, like you said, Suzanne, serve other people. Serve, beautiful. And I love to use my gifts to serve. So when I'm serving, I'm flowing in joy. I'm flowing in delight of being used in the ways that I was designed to be used. So, I mean, that's just cool in and of itself. And that's why I love different personality types, and how even in the disciples, there was different people that had different roles. I talked to somebody the other day. Oh, it was my sister. And she goes, you know, I really don't like being the front man. Thanks, Ivy. I really don't, you know, I just want to be kind of a background player, and I like working behind the scenes. She's like, I love working in the kitchen and just working and serving people. She's like, that's my go-to. Like, that's kind of what makes me come alive. And that's so beautiful, and that's so freeing. And I think for a while she had said that she felt this pressure to sort of be up front, or, you know, she had gotten words of prophecy about, you're going to inspire people, you're going to speak, and and maybe all of that will still come true, or maybe all of that's still a part of her, but to accept who you are, and to not have to force yourself into another role. So I'll be real honest here. I'm making soup in the kitchen now, and I do like to cook for my husband and things, but I'm not a manual labor junkie. Like, it's rough for me to like do a trash pickup day, or like working in the kitchen. Like it doesn't, I mean, I'm capable of doing that, and I will do that if God asks me to, for the glory of God. I'm not above that or anything, because it's not about above that. It's all about everything's valid. Every role is equal in God's name. Every role is different, just like in a marriage. You've got the husband and you've got the wife, and they are both equal, but they're distinct. They have different roles that are both equally valid. So we've got to be very careful not to glorify one gift, right? Many people will maybe glorify those that are in the spotlight, those that are vocal leaders or the pastor or whatnot, and we should 100% encourage our pastors and build them up and uplift them. That's key. But I'm talking about people that sort of think they're better than them because they have a different gift or a different role. You know, and so anyway, let's all build each other up and stir one another up to love and good works. But anyway, I just think it's cool that you can do something that brings you pleasure and brings God pleasure and brings you joy and brings God joy and brings other people joy. And like, it's a win-win-win-win-win. And there are times for discipline. There are times where you don't feel like it and you know it's the right thing, but I just think it's cool the way God designed us, and that I don't have to feel bad for wanting to be a teacher, for wanting to be an influencer of people, for wanting to sort of have that leadership aspect in my life, because it's who I am. It's not something I chose. It's who I am. And so anyway, when she told me she'd rather be playing the bass guitar in the background than singing, it was freeing to me, because her living and who she was, it created space to allow me to do what I was created to do. I just think that's cool. So I don't know how I got off on that, but like serving one another, loving one another, also loving ourselves, because it's so important. Other people need our love, and it's so good for us to love them. But don't neglect your little heart. You know, you need your own. And it's neat when we're loving ourselves. Hello, Christina. We actually take away some of the pressure. Ooh, this is a good one. We actually take away some of that, you didn't love me well enough type of stuff. Now God's loving us and we're receiving His love, but let's see. I'm trying to give an example, but I'm learning more to think before I speak, because I can often be very transparent and sometimes it's inappropriate, especially being married. You can imagine I would tell a story or something and then go, wait, I probably shouldn't have shared that. So let me think. Okay, I think that's appropriate. Okay, so I love doing all of the like spa stuff and the pampering and the lotions and the you know, because I'm such a hyper, like, intense person, like, my relaxation and my alone time, those spaces are, like, really important for my life to be in balance and for me to be able to, like, go hard on these Facebook videos and, you know, just live my life the way I do. But anyway, I think when I got married, I sort of thought, oh, well, like, my husband will totally pamper me, and he'll, like, massage my feet, and he'll rub my lotion in, and, like, that'll be his job, right? And they forget. And it could be he'll buy me flowers, he'll cook for me, you see what I'm saying? So it's an expectation that can become, they forget, or maybe that's not their gift, maybe that's not their go-to, maybe that's not. So all I'm saying is, at one point I said, I'm going to sort of meet my own needs. That kind of sounds off of what I'm maybe trying to say, but I'm not going to put all that on that person. In other words, if I know what I need, I can continue to love myself and to love my body, you know, get out of the bath and you take your time putting your lotion on, and you rub it in, and this sounds kind of weird, but self-love type stuff physically, you know, just you rubbing it into your arm, and you're just like, Lord, thank you for this arm, massaging it into your nails, your fingers, your hands, and thank you for this working hand, and like using that time while you're just doing a rote task, instead of wasting that, to use that as an intentional sort of meditation or mindfulness of gratitude, to practice gratitude, to practice being grateful. So I can do that. And so if that makes sense, if I'm doing that, then if I have some strange, interesting, weird, unique need, that is a way that, like when I was single, like you girls that aren't married, you have ways that you sort of take care of yourselves that maybe came out of a way that was unique to you. Hi, Mary. That maybe came out of a way that was unique to you. Like maybe this whole like lotion pampering thing, maybe that was like a Kendall thing. And so it's unfair of me to now expect Michael to love me in the ways that I've developed to love myself. And so anyway, if I take care of that and I'm like, okay, did my body butter, did my like whatever I want to do, now he's free to add to that. He's free to contribute freely without my expectation